Alrighty. And we're live. So I don't know if anyone can see me. I cannot see myself on the broadcast. So comment when you get in here if you can see my little face.
I
But
can see you, Carly. You're
Oh, you
there.
can. Yay. Okay. I just see myself. That's great. And we have Mr. Todd Campbell joining us today. So awesome that you're here again with us. I feel like we're just winning the lottery every time you even grace us for 5 minutes. It's just so incredible to have your value shared here on this page, Todd.
Yeah.
Well,
You couldn't be more happy.
I don't know about all that, but I'm absolutely excited, and I couldn't wait to be on today as we're kind of approaching. We're into the month now of the big event, and I keep dialing in the curriculum. I've never had the opportunity to do, let's just say, a full day that in depth, all on communication, and especially communication styles of true leaders. Mm-hmm. And got to take, all the little bits and pieces that are out there. We see so much of it, but to really package and put it in a format where I can guarantee that anybody that shows up has the amazing experience they're going to have ahead with the phenomenal speakers we have, and then Jeff Hughes adding his pieces in, and then getting to take that platform and really give them some tangible experiences and insights into their communication, and literally watch what happens within a week of those people leaving, of how their relationships increase, how literally their source of influence and span of influence increases, all the way down to literally finding out the spaces that they can hold and things set for other people to be in with them in a totally different relationship, and all based on communication, the safe spaces we hold, and the conflict resolutions that are available. And so I couldn't wait to be on today. I'm excited out of my mind about what's coming at the end of this month.
Yay! That's so exciting. Honestly, it gets me just pumped to know we are not just offering an event, we are offering an experience, and a transformational experience at that. So it's going to be amazing. You guys, anyone who's tuning on right now, you're going to want to watch to the end, because Todd, he literally just threw this on us when we got on this call. He's like, by the way, I have a really special thing that I want to do as a giveaway. And we're like, what? Like, you don't need to do this? He's like, I want to do this. What you guys are doing is incredible. So, oh my gosh, stay to the end, because we have got a very exciting announcement.
Yes, and we do value everyone's time. We'll probably be here for about half an hour today. So if you can't catch us live, definitely when you're tuning into the replay, let us know. And we're just so pumped to get into this. And this is one of the biggest components that we talk about within becoming a leader, really stepping into your full potential, is we all have the ability within ourselves. We all have the tools and resources. It's kind of opening up the manual, understanding ourselves, what our language that we speak is. And that's, I think, when you can really tap into what your full potential is, because how I communicate is going to be different from Todd and different from Carly. How I learn, how I navigate life, we're all different. But when we can kind of understand and figure out our own roadmap, that's when you can really unlock so much within yourself to really step into the true person that you're really meant to be and live your life to its limitless potential. So I want to hand it off to Todd and kind of dive into some topics today, all focused around communication, and let's just learn.
Well, perfect. Well, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be a little bit of a spoiler, because I'm holding my best stuff back for the event. And we really look at that source of communication, and you're in communication all day, every day, with all different types of people. Unless you've decided to cut yourself totally off from society, literally become a hermit. Communication is the one key that, let's just say, we all have in common, but so few people will actually put it in the lock, turn it open to unlock their dreams. Mm-hmm. I think we'd all agree that there are different ways that we can communicate to different groups, even different social spheres. But maybe one thing that we might look at is the people that are closest to us, that know us the best. Oftentimes the very people that, let's just say, we want to build our dreams with, we want the support in our dreams from, maybe even the reason that we take on this journey of entrepreneurship, go out, really brave the tides so that we can bring it back home to the people we love. Those are usually the hardest people to communicate effectively with. Mm-hmm. And I find this huge gap of the best support system I could have. Oftentimes, even the people I'm doing it all for, the sacrifices that I'm making, they feel as well. But yet the lack of community, communication, therefore support, maybe even understanding, And then even down to, that's when we'll start to rush our timelines. It's not happening quick enough because I got to prove something to these people so they'll jump on board with me, versus how do I communicate in such a way that not only do they understand my dreams, my passion, but they can find a way to parallel theirs, align with it, that we can get synergy going. And one of the things that I really wanted to talk about today, even over and above communication, because I didn't want to go too far down a well that contains so much that then we couldn't literally give people all the work that could be done. And so, the one promise I guarantee everybody, if for any reason any of this makes sense to you, you can't afford not to be at that event. Again, the nice thing is since I started working on this workshop, I work with a lot of different Fortune 500 companies, and one of those companies that I work with that, let's just say they make beverages and they have a lot of commercials out there. I'm not, under duress to name who it is, but literally when I showed them the bones of what I was working on, because they wanted to bring in something all around cooperative influence. And when they saw the bones, they literally, signed immediately to want to have me come in and do this. And let's just say wanted to lock it down for their private trainings. They didn't even want it out there in public because this is, again, a social sphere of influence. So number one, I wouldn't do that. Number two, I already told them their second line. But in just taking a look at this, one thing that really became prevalent in our communication, and it's so much so in our leadership, even in the actions we'll take, is it's amazing. We get to keep the limitations that we hold on to. Mm-hmm. And I know that sounds ridiculously simple. Well, of course we do. But what I mean by that, the ones that we'll hold on to fight for everything, and they're the very things that are holding us back. And what we don't even realize is we get to keep those limitations, those beliefs, those limiting beliefs about myself, that I don't matter, that I'm not enough, that it's for everybody else, that nobody is going to listen to me, that I don't have anything significant to say, my voice is not that much different than the other messages that are out there, who's going to listen to me. All of these limitations that we fight for, we get to hold on to. And the one that we seem to hold on to most, especially as people who want to develop a sphere of influence, is our voice. And so when we take a look at that, we've talked about vision. I know Jeff talks, a lot about vivid vision. All these pieces, if you don't first have a clear roadmap, you've got nowhere to go. What I'm going to ask everybody to really take a look at is, are you your number one card-carrying, raving fan of your vision? Yeah. I mean, that person that, let's just say that you knew a tradesperson that was the very best out there, right? Their heart and soul spoke for their work. They truly put their work ethic in. At the end of the day, they would never cut a corner, only use the best materials, everything. Truly a craftsman. There's a lot of tradespeople out there, and I'm sure anybody in any craft that has really rose it would agree there's very few craftspeople left. There's a lot of tradespeople out there, no matter what. If you knew that person, would you literally refer them to everybody you knew?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You bet. And the funny thing is most people refer other people that they feel have a skill or talent to their friends, their family, but they won't even talk to them about what they're doing. They won't, let's just say, use that same voice for their vision. Yeah. And so experiences are the biggest thing we can invest in. We've been seeing this. It's been everywhere that they talk, let's just say, the best return, ROI of your value. And it's been growing and growing. People used to, again, make investments in material items, pieces that they could hold on to, investments. And what they've really come out and truly said, the biggest return of investment are your experiences. Mm-hmm. And what I'm going to challenge everybody is to take a look at, are you providing yourself the experiences that truly are going to be able to be something communicated by depth of passion, emotion, true tie-in, all these pieces. In other words, the foundational formula of when you talk to people about your opportunity, your vision, when you're leading a team. And I'm just going to suggest that the best, whether it is Ignite, whether it is another event, which I'm going to just tell you, I'm doing 2 events before I get to Ignite and 3 more after, and I am as excited about Ignite as anything else. And these experiences, are you putting yourself in the opportunities to whereas your voice comes from, I'm doing this, passion, fullness of vision, true, let's just say, understanding your social sphere of influence, truly understanding let's just say those opportunities to share with like-minded people, everything, to get that story well-rounded, to get your voice, to actually hear from people that support your dreams, everything else, because I think we'd all agree, one of the reasons we usually don't communicate our dreams at a level where people can see them, see their part in them, see if it aligns with them, if their dream could run parallel or in alignment, is because we share a dream with one or two people.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, those are the same people that, because we haven't set these spaces we're going to talk about in communication on that day, because we haven't even bathed them into the safety zone, all of these things, oftentimes out of sheer care, they care about us so much that they shit on our dreams.
Yeah.
They tear them apart. They become unrealistic. They poke holes in them. They XYZ. And if you share your dreams with one person, they do that. That's one thing. You might even share it with a second or a third. By the time three people have basically downgraded your dream, told you it's unrealistic, put their reality on it, whatever it is, we start to clam down and shut up.
Yeah.
By the time three people, literally, and especially if they're close people to you, have done that, oftentimes, boom, we'll stop talking about it. Have you ever noticed when you're excited about it, you see the solutions everywhere, you run into the right people, you are in the right momentum, things just come to you, solutions are moving through the universe to you. And the second you start to doubt your mission, your vision, first sign of it, and we're going to go over three warning signs today to start to take a look at, where am I really? First sign is you'll start to shut down. And what I mean by that is we go into, I'll call it witness protection. Anybody ever been dealing with somebody, maybe it was somebody on your team, maybe even you were that person, where all these dreams and hopes are being made, these follow-ups are supposed to happen, everything, and then boom, suddenly disappears. They go into witness protection, they stop calling, and I'll be honest with you, I did it about 3 weeks ago. There were some of my best friends, my best support system, everything, and because I literally was in a situation where I was disheartened, I couldn't believe the greed and control people needed, all of these things, literally went to shut down. And it's why it was such an important topic, because don't ever think myself or anybody else that talks about these things goes, I've got it all figured out. If anything, we're in the midst of it, working through it, because there's some work to be done there. And in that shutdown, everything stopped. Second, we stopped talking about our dreams, talking about our passion, have a co-collaboration partner like you have here, all of these things. You'll notice automatically your execution falls off. Mm-hmm. Your follow-through and the appointments and the reaching out to other people falls off. When we silence our voice, we might as well look at that as it truly shuts off our action as well. And so, that's one thing I want people to start to look at is, who have you been sharing your dreams with lately? Who's been in these communications with you? And are you starting to notice that we all go through these times where maybe our business, everything's on fire, and then we'll stop doing everything it took to get it there?
Yeah.
And then it'll fall off. And oftentimes we start our business 3 or 4. Where are the pauses? And look for your communication. Mm-hmm. The other thing is our communication, maybe you've heard it this way, it all comes from a deeper place. We're going to explore that so hugely on that Sunday. I cannot wait. Mm-hmm. Because when you really understand where your communication comes from, in other words, where it's generated, the subconscious verbiage, all down to the emotions, everything, and how we can literally disempower ourselves before a word comes out of our mouth, and or how we can give all our power away in agreements to things we don't want to do. Again, we're going to go over a lot about why the opportunity is there, and we can go further in saying yes for the right reasons and no for the right reasons. So many times we say yes for the wrong reasons. I need them to like me. I don't want to rock the boat. And we also oftentimes say no for the wrong reasons, right? Well, this is scary. I'm not sure if I can do this, X, Y, Z. But when you shut down your communication, the execution stops. The other thing is we'll start to hold it in our physical body. As we talked about, our language comes from somewhere. Most of it's subconsciously based on our true I ams or beliefs about us, other people, or the world. This is not new knowledge for anybody, but a hack I wanted to give everybody today is how many of us, when we notice that we're starting to shut down, hold in our communication, how many of us feel it somewhere physically?
Oh, yeah.
And it's a strange question to ask, but we look at this kinesthetically. Your subconscious mind moves at 2,000 bits faster than your conscious level mind. Your subconscious mind, in other words, your body, your nervous system, all of these things knows what's going on 2,000 times faster than our conscious level mind. And so one hack that I'm going to give you is in these areas of shutdown, I've dealt with clients, some people will feel it in their chest, shoulders. That's where I tend to hold on to it. Some people it would be a gut feeling, so to speak, an extreme pain in the gut. I've even seen it with high-level stock traders that literally it was a shooting bolt of pain into their eye and it turned into a migraine. But the physical body always knew what was going on in the shutdown, where we were holding our worry, tension, stress, the pain. How many of us have just felt better even during the most emotional situation if we can just bounce it off somebody? Just even hear it outside of our own mind. Because how many of you already got enough voices in there?
Yes.
Yeah, I have whole subcommittees of conversations going on. I get on the elevator at this level, and it's these conversations. I get bored with those. I'll go to a different level, start all new. But again, when we start to hold it and shut it down and don't let it out, it's kind of like our love, it's our abundance, it's our gratitude. It's all of these pieces, and they come out in our voice. And so in that, when you start to notice where it comes in your body, that is like the check engine light going off on your vehicle. I doubt seriously anybody, maybe you've heard me say this before, would drive their vehicle down the road, have the check engine light start to flash vehemently, pull over to a mechanic and go, you know what, that's extremely annoying. Could you please rip that light out? But God, some of the solutions we're going to go over on that Sunday, and one hack I wanted to give everybody is if you can start to notice that, what we're looking for is closing the loop of shutdown. Generally speaking, an event, a situation, an instigator will happen. And then, of course, we know that based on our limiting beliefs, programs, paradigms, automatic responses, everything, it just sets something loose. But usually, if we break it down to a synapses, what usually happens is an event, opportunity, something will happen. We have a brief moment to decide how we're going to react. And if we don't get out of that shutdown phase, I'll just tell you how my loop goes. First, it goes down to shutdown. Don't need anybody. Nobody's smart as I am. I can do it all by myself. X, Y, Z. Down into then total righteousness. I judge everything everybody else does. Nothing's good enough. Everything else to give the justification to why I should do it all by myself. And by the way, if you have a vision that can be accomplished all by yourself, time to think bigger.
Yeah.
Then I'll go into guilt and shame that I can't believe I judge people that way, everything else. Then I will go into remorse. Then I will go into self-loathing. Then I will go into forgiveness. Then I will find my way all the way back up to inspired, then into motivated, possibly, then even into action. And in taking a look at something, again, if I could just start everything we're going to do Sunday right now, I'd be ecstatic. But what if you could skip that whole, what we're going to call the drama loop, or again, the cul-de-sac of no return. And literally in those moments, boom, and then move right back to action rather than that whole process. And so, God, I don't know about you, but just over the last few weeks with some of the stuff I'm going on, it has been one of the most worthwhile tools, because life doesn't wait for these opportunities, these businesses to be convenient. Life keeps moving. You either make it a priority and it happens, or time goes on and not a lot's fulfilled. So going back to this without making it long and lengthy, when you start to identify that, and it's something people may really have to look out for. You know, as I said, I come home, I'm the no neck man, shoulders up, everything else, boom, I can feel it. And it's an automatic instigator that if I do not redirect and at a bare minimum have a crucial conversation, I know what ensues. It's that whole loop I just talked about. And so one thing we're going to go over in these conversations and things, who is, when you start to look at that and use that as a key, my check engine light's going off, everything else, I'd love to see some reactions or comments. How many of you have your go-to person? Your foxhole buddy, the unconditional loving source, whether that's a business partner, whether that is a friend, whether it is your spouse, maybe it's your mom, dad, sister. How many of you have your number one person that you may not take advantage of all the time, maybe even you feel like you're overburdening them, but you've got somebody that you can go to in that moment and literally have a communication that can rock or change?
Totally.
What if you could take that relationship and 10x?
Be amazing.
You could be doing a lot of crazy, awesome things if that's the case. You're my person. You're one of my people anyway.
Well, and that's the thing that we're going to really stretch on Sunday is not only your influence of leadership, not only your communication and being able to explore a vision, express a vision, but the vulnerability in your communication.
Yeah.
The full loving in your communication. I'm even going to say even the childlike expressions in your communication that come from joy and spontaneity. And I'm not talking about the fake communication. I'm not talking about where I think we've all seen, I know my mom was the best at this. She could be like literally, because, you know, I grew up in old school, breaking wooden spoons on my ass. Well deserved, I'll admit it. And answer the phone, hello.
Yes.
One of the things we're really going to go over, so in tying this up, when you start to feel that and start to pay real close attention, I'm going to ask everybody to take this on as, let's say, a challenge for the next week. If you don't already know, find out what your physical tick is of when you're starting to go into that shutdown, that non-communicative sport, all of it, and feel it physically and use that as a check engine light and dare yourself to do something different. To dare yourself to call one of your best friends that holds you accountable and say, all right, I'm stuck. To dare yourself to call God, I called my wife in the middle of the day crying the other day, which is not a real manly way to call your wife. However, I was just in such an overwhelming share of gratitude because she's stuck by me through all the changes and tribulations that are going on right now. And I realized I hadn't told her I loved her in at least a week, because I told her I was thankful for her. I said, thank God you're here, all these things. But again, that expression of full vulnerability, all these pieces, to challenge yourself to get out of the pent-up frustration. Mm-hmm. Maybe you've heard it this way. The only way out of a negative thought or emotion is a new thought followed by action or communication. I'm going to say even better if the action fits with communication. And so if that makes sense, because one of the things that we're beautifully equipped for as human beings, you know, there's few things about human beings that no other species on the planet can do. Number one, no other species on the planet has the availability of choice. Mm-hmm. To really choose what we want, how we want it to look, our individuality, everything else. We're the only species on the planet, and so many of us are not even living out of that choice. I mean, some of the choices people have to take on at that Ignite event alone are insane. The choice to truly know what optimum diet and nutrition looks like if you want to be a corporate athlete, to truly take on the choice to start to dance in and evolve in the brain chemistry of positive thought and all the pieces Jeff's going to go over, to actually have the choice to have an excellent toolbox of communication skills to build the relationships professionally and personally of your dreams, to, you know, all these pieces. But we're the only species on the planet that has choice. Another thing is, this is an odd one, we're the only species on the planet that sees rainbows.
What? I didn't know that.
Wow.
Google this shit, man. There is weird stuff out there. But yes, we're the only ones with optical nerves developed enough. And again, in our subconscious mind, we have 5 subjective senses, all of these things, to even pick that up.
Huh. Interesting.
But one of the most amazing anomalies about human beings in my mind, again, I work on practice of mind and thought and vibration, is we are the only species on the planet that can see ourselves outside of our current conditions. Mm-hmm. In other words, no matter what is going on now, it is a single moment in time, because my mind can free and liberate, and I can see the vision, I can see the future, I can see how I want it to be. And if I can get emotionally attached and build a support system in there, influence of communication, all of these things, I can achieve that. And so, you know, when we go back to, I definitely wanted to give a few tools. I'm going to ask that everybody really take that one on where they look at their physical body. When it starts to tighten up, they constrict. Because how many of you know we withdraw when we're in it? And how many of you would agree that men are very prone to this? I'm not saying that we're the only species that can do it or the only gender, but we'll shut down, hold in, and then explode at the most inopportune times. And it usually powder kegs on the people we love the most at the most inopportune time.
Where's my husband right now? You should be listening.
Oh, my poor wife and my poor kids, when I started this work, you know, we've been married 27 years, and my wife's been happy for the last 20. You guess when I started personal development. Literally, the prices that are paid for that, then the whole family's walking around on eggshells, everything else, not knowing what's going to set this person off, and the whole communication of love, of teamwork, and camaraderie is shut down. And so, again, looking at that, taking that challenge on, when you feel it in your body, everything else, even though it's going to be counterintuitive because everything wants to protect, shut down, let me, you know, hold in. What's it going to be to express out? And who are you going to do it with? And take on that challenge. The other challenge I'm going to ask for everybody to take on is to literally ask yourself, what are the quality of the experiences and the people that I am setting myself up to be around right now, currently in my life? And what would be my breakout month? Because, you know, we're in September. September's an odd month for me because obviously it starts the final quarter.
Yeah.
I've taken the boat and I'm getting ready more to winterize it than to have it on the lake. Sucks.
I know.
Dude, we got my boat dialed in. I was 14 foot back on one hell of a curl. It was awesome. Summer's over. I just got it. But what's the challenge you're going to take on this month? Again, communication. We talked about that piece, and then experiences. Because maybe you've heard it this way: the true best communication is embedded in the quality of your next observation and question. And when you can see more people living the life of their dreams and what really drives them, my God, it gives you a depth or a plethora of conversations you can have with people about what their dreams are and what they want to pursue. And if you can become the master of communication, we're going to go over spaces, you hold everything, but for now, what are the experiences you're going to set yourself up with this month? You know, I hope everybody takes on the experience of, if you're not already registered, to definitely, and you can say this is a push, and I'll say, hell yes it is, and shameless, because I know the value that's going to be produced there. And by the way, for the price that they're charging, you will not get that return of value anywhere else I'm speaking for that small of an investment. But if it's not that experience, what is it going to be? What are you going to do to surround yourself with forward-moving people, really get in a progressive thought, really get in a place where you can, in a safe zone with like-minded people, express the depth of this passion, really search it out, really find it, really go to those spaces of what more am I capable of? Find that fifth gear. And then one of the best things, I don't care, now I do care, that'd be dishonest, what experience you decide to do, some type of major experience for you, out of that, what are you going to communicate? What are you going to allow yourself to feel? What are the experiences you want to have? When we can communicate from a fullness, a zest of life, an energy, a synergy, all of these pieces, and we'll go over the influence of communication. There is actually a frequency of vibration to it that you'll only lock into when you are in alignment, truth, and passion that can be felt over and above the words. And when we really go to what causes people to take on new opportunities, new venues, we could go over the caliber of who's progressing the dream. That's why so many organizations only let you get on the phone with one of their ex people. We got to do a three-way call. We got to do this. I mastered that. But the funny thing is everybody has that influence. What experiences are you giving yourself to really take it on? And so I know I'm giving a shotgun blast. This topic of leadership, of communication, also vulnerability, safety of communication, and sphere of influence, what spots are you setting? That's why we got a whole day set aside for. Yeah. But what do you guys think so far about any of these things we've talked about with, number one, we hold on to limitations we allow ourselves to keep, that we don't challenge. Experience is definitely the best investment in who we are, the depth of our character for the expansion that we can really communicate from, and then watching out for shutdown and challenging ourselves. It's funny, in communication and action with it. Any thoughts that you guys want to expound on? Because you know what you've poured into this event, and you know what the takeaways are you want your amazing society to have. What are your guys' thoughts?
I think for me personally, I know this was such a big subject matter that Carly and I both felt had such value in terms of really building people up for the belief in themselves. I feel like that is one thing that I've struggled with the most in really forming myself into the entrepreneur that I am, is the belief in myself. So it wasn't even in my communication with others, which is significantly improved, but it was the communication with myself and the things that I talked about to myself, and I kept myself down. For years, I lived at this sub-level version of myself because that's all I thought that I was good enough for. And other people could have seen all of my potential and all of my abilities, and you're confident and you're a great speaker, and they could tell me things about myself that I couldn't see, that I couldn't believe, because I had that voice in this track that said, you're not good enough. They're just saying this. It was me keeping me down. And it was once I improved that communication with myself and that track that went on in my mind, that then I was like, it like opened up my own ability to believe that I am capable and I can communicate and I can lead and I can do all of these things and build an incredible business and be my best self. But it really started with me and the voices that, like, we have our subcommittee and our like all of the things that track that went on in my mind. And that's where I feel like my biggest breakthrough was. And I know that we'll go over that at Ignite too, but that's one of our biggest sources of limiting ourselves, is we are the ones that can really hold back our own potential. And that's where the big shifts came for me.
Well, and you know, I'll just jump in there for a moment, but we hear it all the time, and I don't want it to become a buzzword. Where I found my partners at, where I found my sphere at, where I found my voice at, everything was at a live event. Yeah. But you know, it's not, it is about getting a live event, because there's this piece of self-worth, there's a piece of dedication, there's a piece of commitment to yourself without a doubt. Mm-hmm. But everything you said, it makes so much sense, because, you know, in over 20 years of studying personal growth and development, neuropsychology, quantum physics, cyber-cybernetics, all of it comes down to a base core. The reason that we can have people in our life that see us as great, tell us we're awesome, all these things, everything else, and still not believe it, is because we put that story in place in the first place. Mm-hmm. Out of a decision we made, out of an event that we had an extreme emotional connection to. Oftentimes we saw it as negative, and then from that point forward, our life changed. How we viewed ourselves, other people, the world. You said it brilliantly. What I love about the opportunity, why Awaken and all my future classes were that I've always done in a group setting, live events, the maximum impact, is because when we can literally start to develop that new story, not just by ourselves, telling ourselves something different, but by that committee, sharing our dreams with people that back them, have proven results, or even give us a shortcut, you know, either learn by your own mistakes or others, being around those mentors, the ones that can say, I've been there too, all of these pieces, not, well, good luck. You know what? I tried that and I gave up. It'd be like taking relationship advice from somebody who'd never had a successful relationship. But that's the caliber of the events, because that's where you get to redefine yourself, recontextualize the image, the picture, everything based on a true assessment of you around the peers that you truly want to go to success with, measure yourself against, all of these things with anyone. And that is the beauty of events. You get to rewrite that story instantaneously with as many as 100 different mirrors around you, reflecting that back when you're in participation, engagement at that level, everything, and nothing can change or impact your life in that short of spans as experiences.
It's so true.
It's what is. So good for you. And you know what I love is, that's why I'll support you guys. I've gotten to see kind of the journey you've been on. I was lucky enough to witness your greatness multiple years ago. Well, God, it's been about 2 years.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. And to see the growth, and I know that that's what warms your hearts and why you want to give back in the form of an event, because I also know how important this event is to you guys, and I know that it was done sheerly out of vision, dream, and opportunities for other people, because I know you probably paid about $5 an hour to work on this. I was going to say, you probably paid about 3 cents an hour. I'm going, nah, that's probably not. Because again, these labors of love, because once you've found it in you, it's been my experience, and I know it is the way you guys get from your hearts. That's why I'll do anything for this community. Once you've found your voice, your truth, and your light at that level, number one, you will never allow anybody to take that voice from you. But number two, you want to give the megaphone to everybody else, because once you've found that space in you, you just want everyone on the face of this planet to know at least that joy, that amazing quality.
So true.
So it's hard.
Yeah, 100%. And I would just love to add on there, like, I relate to what Ali said so much as well. And I've done so much work just personally in my relationship with myself. And, you know, just as a mom, like going through so many changes, just even physically, our hormones direct so much of who we are. And I needed to look past that and see really who I was. I wasn't just like a hormonal biatch, you know? And so I've moved through that and really come into my own, and really liking who I am right now, which I'm so thankful for. But another piece which I'm so excited for is when you're in a committed relationship, like my partner, my husband, you're with them all the time, right? And you're also with your kids all the time. And for me, I felt like, and I still feel like this some days, and that's what I'm really excited for this event, because I feel like it's going to elevate those relationships, is I feel like I am such a great friend. I am such a great daughter. I am a good, sister, those kinds of things. But when it comes to the people I surround myself with the most, which is my partner and my kids, I find myself judging myself for the way I react to things, or the way I communicate, and different things. And sometimes I even feel like, am I being a fraud? Like, here I am being great to all these other people. I know I genuinely care about my family and my friends, and I'm a good person. But then there are days where I'm like, why am I being such a cow to my husband? You know what I mean? Or why am I yelling at my kids, or whatever it may be? And as Todd said, sometimes you'll look at people who seem to have it all together, but really they are working through different challenges in their life. Nobody is perfect. And that's what I'm so excited for a full day focusing in on relationships and communication, because I want to focus in on those relationships that I am with every single day. And I want to just be the best partner and be the best mom that I can be. I already know I'm a really great friend. I already know I'm a great business partner, and I want to take those relationships to higher levels too. But where I'm really excited is those intimate relationships where, I'm celebrating tomorrow, actually, 11 years with my husband. That's a long time. That's just the beginning for a lot of people, right?
So when you talk to him about it, but it feels like yesterday. That's the part of the
Totally.
I love it.
You stated it perfectly. My wife, God bless her, we've been together 28 years. I've never even been to a bar of legal age single. We went to Disney World for our honeymoon. Wasn't old enough to drink. But I will say, far and above, the opportunity to grow together, and most of all, to be able to communicate effectively with each other. We're going to go over fair fighting, the two things that will absolutely blow up any situation, the pitfalls to stay out of, all these things. But the truth of the matter is, you either grow together or you grow apart.
Mm-hmm.
And communication is that key to everything. But we're going to go over something called respectful, responsible communication, because believe it or not, respectful, nobody needs to be made wrong. Responsibility, it's my job to communicate, not somebody else's job to hear. That is the ultimate freaking cop-out and the destroyer of relationships. And communication has a purpose. Gossip, bitching, rumor, none of it serves a purpose. And we're going to go over a lot about these pieces that really set us on. But think about how transformational it is. That's why I'm excited, because I get the opportunity to help people through limiting beliefs, through massive experiences, everything, that they can know a different side of themselves. This will be the first time I've had a whole day outside of my private coaching practice to really then, out of all of these growths, everything, how do you share that? How do you express that? How do you stay in growth with your, again, communication, your hopes, your dreams? How do the frustrations get communicated effectively and early on so they have a chance versus the buildup, the powder keg? And to be able to be in a situation where in one day, literally, guaranteed, that relationship that's 11 years of, let's just say, investment, to have it change, even if your husband's not there. Literally change a relationship without the other person having to change at all. Those are the kind of communication skills we're going to go over. My dad and I won't go into it, but the communication we have now after being legally emancipated at 17, because there was the biggest fight in the front yard, cops came, moved out of the house, everything. Mm-hmm. To be able to get through those trials and tribulations, because biggest part of it was how I communicated and the space I held him to communicate. And what I never understood is he always wanted a different relationship with me. Never knew how. The only thing he thought he could teach me was how to be the biggest, baddest dog on the block. Mm-hmm. And to hear, and the communication we have now, it's almost embarrassing. My dad, if he were on speakerphone, he'll say, "Goodbye, honey." And I'm like, look at the other dudes in the car and be like, I'm so soft now, Dad. Love you. But those are the things. And that is why I'm so excited not only about getting to be a student to the other amazing speakers you have, but getting to give a gift I haven't been able to format or package this way ever. That is probably the one thing that will take any growth work you've ever done, any vision you've ever had, any foundation you've ever had, and be able to build a support team and system within yourself so that you can build one around yourself and keep it stable. And so I just want to thank both of you for the opportunity. I just love you guys. It's been a pleasure and honor so far, and I can't wait. I'm most excited to support you in your first event because you're going to make a huge difference to a lot of people. So
yeah.
I know you guys got some special things to get
yes.
done. And I'm just going to put one last shout out. If you have not registered for Ignite yet and you have not gotten your seat reserved, do not have it be one of those regrets. Most people regret more the opportunities they don't take than the ones they do, and there's a price to everything. But the price I'm going to suggest that you might pay, the nice thing is I know they're going to tell you exactly what the window is, exactly how much time you got, and exactly what the cost is. I just can't tell you how much it's going to cost you if you don't show up.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
We're excited too. Honestly, like I could literally sit here and listen to you talk forever. I feel like I have like 10,000 questions I want to talk about. There's like, and we're already like 45 minutes in, and I'm just like, I'm on the edge of my seat. Go, keep going. So I am beyond ecstatic to have you and host you for the weekend, and to have new people get to experience your presence and your knowledge and how you facilitate the day is truly incredible. I mean, both Carly and I have gotten to go to events with Todd, and it's completely different from anything we've experienced before. And that was such an element of learning that we wanted to impose on this event, was experiential learning, and active participation in an event is incredible. Other than, we don't just want to sit there and take notes and it's like a snooze fest and you're just chatting with your buddy like, God, when's this over? We wanted it to be impactful. So when you leave after those, 3 days for VIP or 2 days for GA, you're leaving with tools and resources and knowledge, and it's not just going to drift out of your brain. It's going to stay with you because it's something that you experienced, you felt, you had emotion, you connected to it, and you experienced it with other people. Then you form connections and friendships and bonds, and where that then grows, and then you build confidence and certainty in yourself, and then how that then leverages into your business, into your relationships. And it's incredible how it can facilitate so many different parts of your life. It's not just, oh, I want to be the best leader for my team, but that's also then going to catapult you into all these other different areas. And that's in terms of event design and style. And what Todd gave us when we first met him is experience. It's everything. To experience something will completely change and elevate how you feel about things, and the material is going to be just beyond impactful. We're just so excited. So thank you again for being here today, and I can't wait to see you in a few weeks. It's going to be amazing. And we have a giveaway. We have something very exciting. We said stay till the end because we have something really exciting coming. Todd dropped an amazing gift for us to share with you guys, because he knows how impactful this event is going to be, and he wants to share of himself with you. And if anyone has gotten value today, let us know. Drop in the comments. We want to hear from you guys. Is Todd not incredible? Can we just say thank you, Todd? So being that he is so amazing and gracious, and he gives with his whole heart, he is giving us here at Ambition Babes for the event Ignite an incredible present. Carly, do you want to announce?
Yes. So I'll lead it up. So we've got 2 other great prizes, and we'll finish off with Todd. So what we have worked out with Jeff Hughes as well, anyone who's purchased a ticket up until this point and to the event date, we want to acknowledge anyone who's taken action so far, and we want to encourage anyone else who wants to take action and get to this event. We want to give you guys a little present, and so anyone who purchases a ticket to the Ignite event will be entered in to win a one-on-one session, strategy session with myself and Allie, and then the other prize will be with Jeff, which is that value in itself is huge. And so we're really, really excited to offer that. But then Todd said today that he is going to be gifting a 1 month coaching package with him, which goes for like over $1,500 if you were to purchase a coaching package with him. The transformation that you will have from one-on-one with Todd, these different sessions that you're going to have with him, is incredible. And so that is going to be given to the next 10 people who purchase in the next 10 days, which is coincidentally Allie's birthday. So it'll be super fun that we'll be doing the draw for Todd's package on her birthday, September 14th, which is super exciting, and giving someone that amazing prize. Like, that's just incredible. And then on the event date, we will draw for the other 2 prizes too. So we are just so thankful to be aligning ourselves with incredible, generous, amazing people like Todd and Jeff and all the other speakers that we have coming. It just gives me the tingles.
I want to buy my own ticket right now. Like, should I buy a ticket? Because I want to be entered for this draw with Todd.
And that's the thing. I thought it may even put somebody on the edge. In other words, maybe you've been holding back. Maybe you know that there's a business partner. Maybe you know that there is somebody that you just want to build your future with, and you knew you were committed to going. They couldn't quite get over the fence. Maybe there's an opportunity to reach back and take somebody with you. I just want to be very clear, how it was stated. It's not that everybody that signs up for the next 10 days gets this. Absolutely freaking not. It is get in that drawing. And in case you are one of those people that's going, well, I would have waited to sign up if I knew that was coming. I already signed up. Don't worry, at the event, for those that were earlier than this announcement registered, I might have one other little surprise in the bag as well.
Wow.
Again,
Santa Claus, just always handing out gifts.
So this is, we want to have a sold out event. That is always going to be our goal at the end of the day, because we want to bring value to as many people as we can. We want to pack that room. We want to impact as many lives as we can. We're limited to 100 because that is the capacity of the room, but that's the people. We want to reach you guys. We want to facilitate these things. And when you have opportunities from incredible speakers like Todd to win a month-long coaching series, like, that's incredible. So not only do you get a ticket to a bomb event, but you also get the opportunity to potentially win a coaching package with an incredible mentor. That's a gift. That's just multiple gifts that you're going to give to yourself. And I thought that my birthday would be the best time to draw because I love presents. So September 14th is my birthday. So if anyone else wants to just get me a gift in general, just
So basically you're announcing we got 10 more shopping days?
10 days left until it's my birthday. So get me presents. But my gift, and that's why I wanted it, I'm like, let's do it on my birthday, because for me, I love to give. Like, I'm like the gift whisperer. Like, if I could just give people presents all day, I would. But that to me is a gift in and of itself, to be able to pick that person that takes action in the next 10 days and is like, I'm showing up. I want this. I'm all in. So take action, guys. We want to see you there. We want to see you at Ignite. We want to offer these things to you. And I'm excited for the other goodies, for the opportunity to have a call with Carly and myself, also to have a call with Jeff Hughes. These are just really cool things that we want to continue to facilitate and provide for you guys, that you get the best experience and the best bang for your buck, because I just don't know where else for $300 or $400 you will get this level of learning or experience. It's honestly, at this point, it's kind of like what can you shift or sacrifice to make it work, because it's really going to change the game for you. I can't speak more highly about it.
The funny thing was, when you guys first told me what you were doing, the event cost, everything else, I think I told you were insane.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, the only thing I would hate to see anybody do is downgrade the experience, because some people I know, I'll be honest with you, that $1,500 least I ever charge for a week, I've charged people as much as $40,000. Mm-hmm. Because at their income level and what they wanted to jump, they wouldn't have seen it as value if it would have been at a lower price. Yeah. And so that, I would say that's the one and only pitfall. Know that you guys have done an amazing job and you took the ultimate risk. We're going to overexceed, give way over value for a minimal price. And the only danger in that is somebody's going to go, well, it can't be that great if it's this price, because I've seen other events that were 3 times, 4 times, 5 times the price. Yeah. All I'm going to warn, one last warning. Don't get caught in that, because I guarantee you they could have charged 5 times what they're charging for this event, and you still would have walked away. And by the end of it, I know who's going to be there, what's going to be involved, and when I got 10 times my money's worth. Mm-hmm. So the biggest thing I'm going to say is don't fall under that one pit drop. That's really the only thing I could see anybody not attending for.
Yeah.
Because everything else is a hurdle that you guys have already made movable. So I hope I see everybody there. If this sprung anything in you, get on the phone. The one thing that I want to see is, not only how many more registrations you're going to have, but this little giveaway that I want to do on the inside, with your guys' permission once we get there, is who else were the biggest go-givers that brought somebody over the fence with them, especially when they saw that the value was insurmountable. Yeah. That support system you build is invaluable. So take a risk on yourself if you haven't yet. If you already have, double down, invite somebody with you, take the risk on all of these people that you love in your life. And more than anything, I love you two ladies, and I cannot wait to see you.
Likewise, Todd. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again for joining today. You can go to ambitionbabes.com/ignite to get those tickets. And yeah, it's going to be amazing. So we will be keeping track of the next 10 people who purchase a ticket to be entered in to win the package with Todd, and all of the other ticket holders will also be entered in to win the other 2 draws. So thank you guys so much. Have an amazing rest of your week. Happy hump day, right? It's Wednesday. Happy hump.
I'll be in Canada tomorrow. I'm getting out of the States, baby.
Woo! Love it.
All right, guys.